Okay, let's use the hole wizard to put this counterbored hole in the center here. And so that's going to be a feature. So you want to make sure the features tab is selected, and we're going to go to hole wizard. What this does is it simplifies making holes because it gives us some options, and it assumes that we're making them for a certain size fastener. And because we're using this for this hole on this drawing, it requires a counterbored hole, and so I can hover over these and I can see which one I want. Countersink, we have a straight hole, we have some with threads, and so on. So we're going to pick this one up here where it's a counterbored hole, and then we just have to give it some parameters. And so we're going to be ANSI metric, and then what type, hex bolt. There's the ANSI standard for the metric hex bolt. Size is going to be M8, so we can select that. Our fit will be normal, and then our end condition, which is going to be, do we want it through or just to a certain depth? We're going to say through all. We are going to deselect if your options are selected, and we're just going to end here with through all. All right, so now where do we want to put this? We want to select our positions tab because we already have all our type information filled in, and we want to hover around this arc, and what it should do is, let's just change this to so we're looking directly on. Okay, we're going to select the face that we want this hole on, which is here. So I'm going to click once. I think I accidentally deselected. Let's just go back to type. Okay, that information's still there. We're going to come back to positions. Now we're going to click on the part. Now when we hover on this arc, you can see the coincident part points highlighted. And if I just kind of hover on this, I haven't clicked on anything, it shows me the center of that arc. And I just want to come there. I want to select that arc, or that center of the arc, and then I'm going to hit OK. And if I move this around a little bit, you can see it put in the counterbore, and it put in the hole through the part. All right, next we're going to make some fillets on the part, and basically what that means is a fillet is a rounded edge, like a radius that we're going to put on an edge of the part. A couple rules I wanted to point out, and this is important because every semester some students don't follow these rules and they don't know how to kind of fix it, and it screws them up on generally the midterm. So basically we want to leave fillets until the end unless we have to. If there's some reason we need a fillet before we move on, but usually I will leave those to the last step. Usually fillets that are the same size, I usually will try to create in the same step. So I'm going to select multiple edges and then apply them all at once. If you have to apply different sizes, make the larger fillet first and then come back and come in and make the smaller fillet. And so this order is also important. So because when we make a fillet, it creates faces and edges, they can also be used to generate more fillets, and that's also kind of where it comes in with creating the larger one first and then the smaller. We can also convert them to chamfers if we have to, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, so let's go ahead and fillet this part. The next step is going to be throwing some fillets on this thing. And so fillets are a feature. So make sure your features tab is clicked. We're going to come over here and we're going to click fillet. It's going to bring up our manager. We've got 4 different types of fillets. We're going to use this first one, which is a constant size. There's one that is tapered. There's a face fillet, and then there is a full fillet, which would be equal to the size of the fillet would be equal to the width of that part. So here we're going to click in this box, and that's going to tell us the items that we want to fillet. And so first thing we want to do is we're going to click on the edge here, and you can see I've got a full profile view or preview, and I can do a partial preview, a full preview, and no preview. Now if you have a slower processor, you might want to do a partial or a no preview. Some people, after they get better, they like no preview because they kind of know what they're doing. I like the full preview generally because I like to kind of see what's going on. Here is going to be the size. These are going to be 8mm fillets. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to click each corner. And we're going to fillet the underside here. Now you can do this 2 different ways. You can roll this over and we could pick this corner, or you should be able to do it through the top here. You just have to know what line is which. And see, it selected that, so I don't have to roll that over all the time, the part over all the time, or I could, and I could just select it from here. So now that those have been selected, we have our size entered. We do the checkbox, and you can see that it integrated that into the part, makes it look nice, and the bottom. All right, now let's do these around here. So to get back to that menu, we can also right-click out here into space, and I can do a recent commands, and it should show what has been done in the last 8 or 9 steps, and I can pick fillet from there as well. Either way. This one is going to be 3mm, and we're going to pick here and here. Now the reason that went all the way around is because I've got the tangent propagation, and so it's going to select those that are basically in line with that edge that I selected. So it makes things easier. Green check mark, and now you can see that we've got that done up to there. All right, let's end this video and we will pick it up with the next one.